Bonjour! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Fasten up your seatbelt and enjoy this journey into Muse World with Lamia Nobel. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of Muse World. Today, I have a special guest. I have Sufyan with me today. Sufyan is someone who I am extremely grateful because I met him when I just came to Dubai, put it like that. And I remember when I first came, I hated Dubai. And he showed me a whole different version of Dubai. He showed me the beautiful parts of it, and I'm eternally grateful to him. And today I have the pleasure to have him on the podcast.
Pleasure is mine, Lamia. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Good
for
to be
coming.
here. Yeah,
So we've known each other for what, 3 years?
I think it's more than
2021?
3 years.
4 years.
Time really flies, by the way.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know. And yet so much has happened.
Yeah,
Because obviously I met you. You were working somewhere at that point.
yeah.
And you were a Harley
Yeah,
rider.
back in the days, yeah. I mean, once you start to be a Harley guy,
Yeah.
being part of the biking community, it just becomes part of you.
Oh, that.
Even though I don't have a bike at the moment, but every day I'm waking up thinking, when am I going to get the bike next time?
And I cannot
Yeah.
wait for you to get the bike again. Do miss
I
these
will,
rides.
I will. Yeah, for sure.
But Sufyan, obviously I know you, but if I were to ask you to introduce yourself, give me
Yeah.
a bit of a background where you're from, obviously give me a bit of background about you, introduce yourself for the audience to get to know you a little
Sure.
bit.
So the name is Sufyan, as you have already seen. I come from fintech, crypto, and now I'm making a career shift into marketing because I
Okay.
feel like there is a need in most businesses. I want to give them solutions so they are comfortable, so they are taking pride in their brand.
Okay.
Yeah, so my philosophy is if you have a business and you are here,
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring you here through
Okay.
a structured approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how did, obviously you started with fintech and crypto as you said.
Well, my
of-
first job was a bank, traditional
Yes,
bank.
exactly.
One of the most boring jobs ever.
So explain to me how you shifted your career. So make me understand the
Yeah.
ladder shift. So obviously from the bank to then crypto, how did your interest got attracted to these bits?
See, everything is an opportunity. You don't plan it, but it just happens.
Okay.
So starting from the bank, it was my first job after I graduated. The typical corporate life, starting there, I thought that, waiting for the promotion, for this. Then I realized I ended up being there for almost 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I said, nah, I don't see any future in here.
Mm-hmm.
I need to take solid action because I believe in this philosophy. If you keep doing the same thing every day, don't expect different results.
I agree. That's such a good way to explain.
Yeah, and I just took the decision. I said, you know what? Let me take a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna quit, even though I had nothing backed up. I didn't have any plan. But it always works like this. The moment you take a hard action and you quit,
Mm-hmm.
opportunities just present themselves.
Yeah.
And at that point, the flow, the sequence was okay, I quit. And then a few days later, I got a job at a remote company, which gave me the freedom to move around.
Mm-hmm.
Then I decided to go to Cyprus because, I have a passion for crypto. And I heard that they teach crypto in a structured approach in Cyprus as a master's degree. And I said, okay, I'm just going to go there
Mm-hmm.
while I'm doing my remote work.
Mm-hmm.
Stay there for some time, good memories, good friends, got too involved in the crypto community. And now I'm trying to bring some of that here to Dubai. And at the moment, it just hit me that the world needs better marketing. And I'm not talking about the typical traditional marketing, right? Because we're in 2025. The average consumer is not the same way as it used to be.
I agree.
Not 5 years ago, but 2 years ago. Look with AI now, look with even our brains are getting wired in a completely different way now,
I agree.
right?
Completely.
Like, for example, before, when you want to sell something to someone, right, there was a different approach to selling. Like, okay, you need to get this, it will help you. Now the average consumer is way smarter and they have access to unlimited research. They can research your product, your competitors. They can get a whole bunch of summary from ChatGPT. So the approach is getting different. And I see that people are still using traditional marketing to promote their products in 2025.
Yeah, which is
There
true.
is a need for a new change.
Which is true.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, this is obviously, as you mentioned, nowadays, we're in 2025, where things are evolving. And even I would say, even if I was to use my example,
Yeah.
for example, sometimes it's hard to get used to the new AI system.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's understanding the hooks for
Yeah.
you to get the right audience. And I never understood that until we had a sit down
Yeah,
together, and
yeah.
you were like, you know what, you should maybe do this and that. And I was like, true,
Yeah.
you've got a point. How did you realize that was an issue in today's
All right,
marketing world?
Let's talk about the attention span.
Okay.
Now you can lose your audience in 3 seconds.
True.
If you don't capture them within 3 seconds, they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's a whole structured approach behind the hook. Have you noticed when you're scrolling in Instagram, like you see the most weirdest videos, it's attractive, and then after 5-7 seconds, it transitions into a different product. Like, okay, now we are telling you about our product. They got you hooked. I don't like this approach because it's kind of like you're lying to your audience.
Yeah.
But still, before, let's say, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe before social media, you would take your time in presenting.
Yeah.
You would, like, there's a whole routine, you would go, hi, everyone, how are you? My name is Sufyan, my name is Lamia. Today I'm gonna present to you this amazing product, blah, blah. People don't have time for this now.
100%.
Start with your most amazing feature, and then I'm gonna decide if it resonates with me or not, if it fits me or not.
100%.
I don't have time to listen to the big introduction. So, attention span, to answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I like it. So, obviously, talk to me about, for you, what do you think people, apart from obviously the attention span that you're telling me, obviously people don't understand that you have the first 3 seconds are important. What are other common mistakes that you've noticed in the marketing world today?
Most common mistakes.
Let's break it down.
Yeah, okay.
Let's do maybe like top 3.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, okay, I like this one. I would say the most one that I see all the time is promoting, not understanding your target audience. Right? So, for example, if you are selling something you're selling a software, for example,
okay,
right? You need to keep in mind who is your ICP, your ideal customer portfolio. How old is he? Which industry he's from? And then you need to communicate with them in a tone, a language that they would understand.
True.
So you shouldn't, let's say, for example, if your target audience is between 18 to 25, let's say you are selling, I don't know, a game or something, I really don't know.
Yeah.
But let's say your target audience is between 18 to 25. You shouldn't talk to them in a very corporate structure, in a very corporate approach. They're gonna lose you.
Okay.
So that's one.
Okay.
Second one, I would say, not using proper visuals in your branding. Because, by the way, people don't buy products, they buy stories. Okay. If you don't sell your product and give it a story, right, it's just a product. Like, why would you wear or why would you prefer Nike over Adidas, for example? Because subconsciously you're buying, if you prefer Nike, for example, subconsciously you prefer the tick sign, you prefer the just do it mentality. You're kind of buying the story, even though they could be the same product. Yeah. Maybe Adidas is way better than Nike, I don't know. But people want to buy a story. So that's 2. Your branding should reflect your product, right? And then the third one, what could it be? I don't know, not using the right visuals for your product.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think this is relatively common? Have you seen like most of the people, obviously, entrepreneurs mainly, who are mainly using this to show their product online? Do you think this is something that
people are very judgmental, by the way?
This is true. Yeah.
So, for example, if you have an amazing product, but the picture is low quality, the colors are turning off, no one is gonna even be inclined to try it out or even give you a call.
That's true. Then this is my next, I would like to jump on that segment is obviously today we're in a world where, for example, society loves to give their judgment. Loves it.
Yeah, they get
It's
a
free now.
good dopamine out of it.
Exactly. There's no, you just put something out there, trust me, you'll have the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And how do you, what would be your approach if you were to help someone? Let's say you were to help me with my podcast, let's say. And we're working on the marketing of the podcast, and then we go through these obviously these comments and people's judgment. What would you say to anyone who would go through this? Like,
well, let me first start by addressing paying attention to the people that judge, because it should never be in your agenda. It should never pay attention to that. You should just keep doing what you want to do, but again, take feedback in a constructive way. True. Right? And it's an ongoing process. Do you know the term Kaizen?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's continuous improvement.
100%.
Right? There is no peak that you can reach and you say this is it, because your competitors will surpass you.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to taking your podcast, for example, it's really by understanding who the target audience is. Do you have a niche that you're addressing? Are you addressing like a very specific topic that people are interested to listen to? People that are just talking like me, or, you know?
Yeah.
Once you find that niche, it becomes just a matter of how you can get more people to listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah, and this takes us back to using the right hooks, the right CTA to get followers, and all of that. So, because this podcast is the product. Now, this is the product, right? You want more people to be aware of this product.
Of course.
Yeah.
Then it brings me to this idea. I'm just basically referring to some kind of even reflection that I've heard, reflection that I've had myself, you know. Sometimes, for example, people are like, oh, I don't really care about the number or the audience. I care about what I'm putting out there.
Yeah.
Do you think that's enough to portray a message? Because how do you make the difference? For example, there are some people that don't really care about who doesn't really care about, for example, your number game. Some people just like to share their story, share their story, share their message, be authentically themselves.
Let me stop you here. I really like that you use the word authentic.
Okay.
Now, people have an eye for this.
Okay.
If something comes across to them as non-authentic, oh, they will know. They will know. Authenticity and being authentic to your audience, being truthful, being, you know, sharing your feelings, your emotions, you could win some hearts, and people are willing to pay when you win their hearts. So that's the organic approach. It takes time, but it's very fruitful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think that there's authentic content out there nowadays?
I would say 90% is non-authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, people are always different in front of the camera. Now I'm trying to fight too hard to be natural in front of camera. No, she knows me. Yeah. You know, there's always this persona that you want to dress. You want to, what's the word?
Yeah, you want to almost be not people pleasing, but you want to suit the frame or the society.
It's an ego, by the way.
Yes, I agree. It is at the end of the day.
And you know what causes that ego? The continuous thinking of what people think of you.
100%.
At the end of the day, what they think doesn't matter.
I agree. I am so happy that you mentioned that, because, you know, this took me a while to understand. Yeah. I still remember when I first started this podcast, because obviously the podcast was just audio at the beginning. And then when I started to go visual, I was so like hard on myself or cringing, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Why am I talking like this? Was my hair like this? And
it's
then
okay.
Exactly, you know? And nowadays, me looking back after 1 year, and God knows when I've been doing this podcast now, I am so happy I went through these stages, because every episode I understood, oh, maybe this time try to improve here. Yeah. Maybe take a pause.
Yeah.
Maybe calm down.
Yeah.
maybe, these little things just make it more and more natural. Now today I'm in front of the camera, it's fine. It's like it's just me and you here, and I don't even think about the camera.
Exactly. And the key is to just realize that it's okay.
Yeah.
Your first podcast is not going to be the best. 100%. It's fine.
Exactly.
So what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I completely.
But at least you started.
That's what I mean.
So many people didn't start.
And I am so glad that you started this, because obviously you are the first one who always remind me of starting, what you got to lose.
Yeah.
Everything that you've done so far, for me, is a proof of that, because obviously you left a stable job per se.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, by the way. It wasn't easy. The problem with stable jobs is that you get dependent on them.
Yeah.
The moment, just the thought of you losing that job is a disaster. But then you realize, once you take an action to leave it, it's not as bad as you thought.
On that, I know I'm kind of reversing back right now, but I want you to share, obviously, tips for anyone who might be stuck in that moment, that 9 to 5 and wants to finally take that leap of faith.
Yeah. The reason behind me starting my new brand, Mint, as in Mint for More, because I truly believe each individual is truly meant for more. If you are stuck in your 9 to 5, I mean, if you are happy with it, that's fine, because not everyone is the same. But if you are not happy with it and you're only doing it as a sacrifice, just being stuck in that 9 to 5, I'm just reminding you that this is your life.
Okay.
Tomorrow we're all gonna die, right? I don't want to have memories of sending a dear email. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Dear XY, please, gentle reminder. I don't want to have those kinds of memories. I want to have a memory on, man, what's the update? Come on, we need to get going, right?
Yeah.
We are approaching a deadline. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibe that I want to have, because once you deliver, the feeling is just great.
I agree.
So again, if you are stuck in the 9 to 5 and you're not happy with it, it's not easy to leave it, but I mean, living on the edge is gives you that adrenaline rush.
And I think also it's very often, correct me if I'm wrong, but very often people are scared of change because it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable because obviously it's not your usual, it's not something that you know. It's something that you have to start all over again. It is something that you're not, how do I say it, familiar to it. So the discomfort causes you to maybe like be a bit like hesitating to take that leap
to make
of
the
it.
change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I've lived it so many times, and I keep saying it, is that,
I mean, you have an interesting story too.
yes, to be fair.
So many changes.
Yes, to be fair.
You wouldn't be here if you didn't go through all those changes.
Exactly. And to like, honestly, for me, I've never thought about even living here. Today I look at myself here, Dubai is home.
Yeah.
But if you asked me this when I first met you, Dubai was temporary.
Yeah.
Dubai was just like let's see what happens, you know. Same for career, from being an agent to a conveyancer to then afterwards moving from leaving a company I've been working for like God knows how many years, and suddenly taking that leap of faith of like, okay, you know what, maybe let's explore what's in another company, you know what I mean? Because very often, obviously, I'll use my own example for that. It's like I've been working in a company for X amount of time. I've built my name. People knows me. The management knows me and all of that. So very often, I was like, why would I leave comfort to try something else and I have to prove myself all over again when I've already proven myself in one company. And now today I see, okay, here I am in a new company, took the risk, and I was like, it was worth it. It's hard, like anything, because it's a new environment. I'm still adapting. I'm 3 months in the company, but I'm still adapting to it. But it's change. I remember when I started 2025 and I recorded the episode for January.
By the way, we're halfway in 2025.
Can you imagine?
My God.
And I remember I said I wanted growth. But what I didn't understand is that growth comes with discomfort,
Yeah.
with change, and taking a risk. So here I am. Same for the podcast. If you told me 1 year and a couple of months back that I would have started this podcast, I would have no.
Yeah.
When I was in the UK, I had a whole episode ready because I wanted to start YouTube.
Yeah.
Never uploaded it.
All right. Can I address this point?
Sure.
So you have always had this feeling inside you that you wanted to do something like this.
Yeah.
Right? But you weren't ready. You know the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher comes?
Yeah.
Now you are ready, it happened. Now how it happened is because you took the first step.
Exactly.
When I tell someone, for example, when I tell my brother or someone to go to the gym and they have never been to the gym, I tell them just take the first step and go, and then you will see the feeling that you get after. But the question is, do you know what that first step is?
It's taking that risk.
No, starting the gym.
Starting the gym.
What is the first step in going to the gym?
Getting ready.
Putting on your shoes.
Exactly.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Putting on your shoes. Because you know the bed is comfy.
Yeah, it is.
It's cozy, the AC is blowing, you know.
I agree. I mean, I like that approach because now for me, gym is like, for example, if we were to talk about the gym is like a lifestyle now.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to wake up every morning at like 5:30 and be like, okay, right, let's get this done.
You woke up too early, by the way. Oh my God.
I do. I wake up around 5:30-ish and I'm at the gym by 6 latest.
Yeah.
Then afterwards I head straight to work.
Yeah.
But this is now consistency. Obviously, there are cases when, for example, to be fair, I'm glad that you mentioned that, but because I want to give an example as well. This week, for example, I have been extremely tired, overwhelmed with work and all of this. And Tuesday I had my session to do and I didn't want to do it. But then I was like, no. I was like, no, I have a goal. I have something to achieve. I'm going to show up. I went. I was dragging my feet in the gym, but I got the session out of the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that anything that you do in life, whether that's something, even this podcast, it has been up and down, up and down, and up and down. But because I love this, it's my baby, this podcast.
Yeah.
And I wanted to grow like any baby will grow to become a toddler, to become an adult.
It's not going to become an adult in a day.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me to reach that point, I know it's consistency.
But I'm just reminding you that it's all about the journey.
100%.
Yeah. You'll reach the end goal if there's ever an end goal, but enjoy the process until it takes off.
Exactly.
Take
the
enjoy it.
Yeah. The up and down, everything. Yeah. It's part of the process. It's part of the growth. Now, you've already introduced your new agency, Ment.
Yeah.
Talk to us a bit more about it.
Well, as I said, Ment is... by the way, I really don't like using the term marketing agency because it feels like I'm underselling what I provide.
Okay, let's say personal branding company.
I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to find a new name, because why not, right?
Of course. Listen, you're not stuck to anything.
Yeah. But the purpose behind Ment is, first of all, it's a reminder to people.
Okay.
Yeah, that you're meant for more.
Okay.
Do something better.
Yeah.
Enhance your product, enhance your approach, get more customers, reach more people, increase your sales. We want to introduce AI to it to cut your costs. So the point is, you are meant for more. We're going to take you from here to here. And once you are here, to manage all the new, let's say, customers that you have acquired, we will give you the AI tools to streamline your processes, to increase your sales. So we're going to support you from the bottom all the way.
I'm curious to know about give me a testimony, someone that you've seen growing, because I know you've been doing that for a while now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ment is relatively new, but you've been helping a lot of people behind the scene to grow. Talk to me about maybe the one that marked you the most.
Let me see. I mean, when you do something subconsciously all the time, you forget. You don't really remember.
Okay.
Like, for example, something that you do as a habit every day. Let's say, I don't know, cooking, for example. You don't remember what you cooked last week
Yeah.
because it's something that you do, right? And I think that people are for people. And I always say this, if you don't inspire me and I don't inspire you, what's the point? There needs to be an inspiration.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe I want to talk about the one client that I'm recently working with. It's a crypto project, and I'm very proud of the accomplishments that we have done here. Just starting having the first look at their branding, whether it's the website, the mascot, because it's a meme coin,
Okay.
right? The language, the messaging that they use, and seeing it grow, becoming more visually appealing,
Okay.
resonating with the target audience. That felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Of course, in the air, like I can't give more information about it, but it's a good feeling to see it.
the growth, right?
Yeah.
And how fast was the growth?
We had to make it fast.
Okay.
We had to make it fast. I would say 2 months. Rebranding everything from the scratch. New website, new communication, new branding, new visuals, new content, new team. Within 2 months, and a video audio AI agent was developed.
Okay.
Well, that was good.
What's the discomfort about rebranding? Let's say if anyone wants
Oh, let me tell you something. That's a very good question. I like this question. The discomfort of rebranding.
Yeah.
The same client that I was talking about, when he came and he presented all his assets in the beginning, including the website, in his opinion, this was amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
But from experience being in that specific niche, this was very bad. And the people that were behind that brand, and I asked them this question, how old is the youngest guy amongst you? And the youngest guy was 40 years old. So I told him, okay, you're using a 40-year-old mindset to sell to people between 18 to 25. It's not going to work. In your opinion, it's beautiful. And probably you ask your friends and they told you, oh, it's very nice, man, good job. But in reality, no, it was bad. So to answer the question, the most discomfort when you want to do a rebranding.
Yeah.
By the way, branding is all about the ego as well. So when I tell you your brand sucks and you need to do rebranding, I'm kind of hitting your ego.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have an emotional attachment to that.
Yeah.
That is the most discomfort.
I agree. Because obviously you in your like you said, in the person's eyes, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need the right person to tell you, listen.
It's the approach.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's the approach.
Talk to me through your approach. Just for like, let's say if someone wants to come to you tomorrow and say, Sufyan, this is my content, and how would you deliver?
Yeah.
And tell them, listen, I see potential.
Well, there's the hard approach. There's this approach. The hard approach, I'm just going to tell you, well, since you came to me, you obviously came to me for a reason. So let's, you have to trust my judgment.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, I start by asking a few questions. For example, what was your thought behind this? What was your reasoning behind this? I try to understand, deep understanding of your rationale behind doing that brand. Why you chose these colors, for example. Why are you using this tone in communicating with your audience? Once I get that feeling, I present an alternative. Okay, what do you think of this? And then you present it. You don't just show without presenting. You present, this is my reasoning. You're targeting this segment. You're targeting people from this age to that age, their demographics. They tend to resonate more with this type of branding. Usually it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, again, I have a role to convince, but because branding and everything that is visual and creative, it's subjective.
Yeah.
Right? It's a personal preference. You like orange, I like yellow, right? But again, it's your brand, so it's not easy. So I want to cater it to you, but also make sure that it's good.
Okay.
This is like the most difficult part that I have to deal with. But again, it comes down to the approach.
And how do you deal with that? How do you deal with this difference?
You can solve everything in a conversation. Just have a conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
Why did you prefer this color, for example? Because it was my favorite color when I was 7. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
How are you selling to? I'm selling to this. Okay. Do you think they like this color? No, but I like it. You're not selling to yourself. You are selling to your audience, right? It's
Exactly.
about your audience, not about you. I mean, again, you should have that emotional attachment, but it's a business. You need to sell. You need to get more eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I mean, to be fair, 3/4 of the time, and I think people, that's something I've realized. Sometimes people just like to be, I'm trying to find the English interpretation for it, but it's
You can
basically,
say it in French.
it's like caresser les poils du même
Yeah,
sens.
that. Carousel, voilà, je m'appelle.
So basically, it's the saying is basically you don't want to offend someone, so you're like yeah it's fine.
No,
It's
that's
absolutely fine.
yeah.
But the reality is that I've always liked constructive feedback, and that's why when we had the sit down together, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Because it made sense to you, right?
Yes, definitely.
If it didn't make sense, you're not gonna trust me.
100%.
So I have, what's the word? I have obligation to show you my reasoning to convince you. Yeah.
So now a question that I'm very curious to know. Obviously, you're updated with all the AIs going on, and I'm still struggling with this, but
Not that updated. Like it's evolving too fast, and sometimes I feel like, even though I'm 30, I feel like I'm getting too old for this. It's moving too fast. This is why I keep telling people your approach, you should be very dynamic, you should be very flexible. You shouldn't be using language that your father was using.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's being obviously being flexible and being able to adapt to change. Now, I want to know, with how life is going at the moment and AI taking over slowly.
Yes.
Do you think that in the long run, we will no longer be needed and AI will be like...
You know, this is one of my favorite questions. You know how I made the announcement when I wanted to start this brand, man?
Okay.
I was at the pool having my phone and I said, I started a marketing agency and then I realized that AI is going to make me obsolete very soon. You know that AI can actually make you a product photo shoot with the logo, the branding and everything?
Everything.
You just have to upload your logo and he makes the content for you. Right?
So how do you beat AI?
Yeah, by using it. By being friends with it. Right?
Yeah.
It's not... AI is there to help us. It's not a war. It's not us against AI. I mean, AI was invented by humans for humans. Let's not forget. Yeah, it has some disadvantages psychologically. Like people are more lazy now. They don't use their brain. Everything as ChatGPT, you know. But you should use it. It's a great tool, by the way, for ideas, for brainstorming, for so many things. Even for visuals, you can use it. This is why I'm trying to incorporate AI in Mint.
Okay.
My new brand. Yeah. Because you should be comfortable in using AI. And there are so many tools. We see tools coming out every day. But there are definitely more jobs that are going to go obsolete. That's a fact. But then it's up to you to stand with AI and to use it. I'll give you an example. Now, a whole customer service in a company, a whole customer service department can be gone like that. It can be replaced by AI agents. I can show you crazy videos. You'll be talking to an AI agent and you will think it's a real human. Yeah. So instead of having, let's say, 10, 15, 50 customer service agents that are answering phone calls, you can have one AI agent that doesn't sleep 24/7. You can call us anytime. But there needs to be an orchestrator behind it, an operator.
Okay.
So your customer service department can be downsized from 50 agents to 2 operators, one in the morning shift, one in the night shift.
True.
Yeah. And their role is just to handle escalations, provide a personalized feedback, personalized problem solution. Yeah, it's happening.
It is happening. But even though AI is so big, I believe that AI doesn't have something that we have:
Which is?
emotions. Do you think AI can understand emotions?
I mean, see, it pretends. It pretends that, and sometimes it does a good job. If you speak to it in voice,
Mm-hmm.
you can feel the emotional whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It pretends. But
Is it authentic?
how do you define authenticity? That's the thing. It's a personal feeling, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to you and I feel like you really understand what I'm going through. I can sense the authenticity.
Okay.
AI can pretend to do that. Maybe it will feel authentic. I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, are you really comfortable speaking to AI
To a human rather than a
rather
human.
than a human? Yeah, I really don't know. Maybe in the future, maybe, I mean, by the way, there are some crazy uses of AI in a different industry. Like they make you feel special, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, so, I mean, I really don't know. It's a very vague topic.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I've always, obviously, anything, like, I think nowadays the way AI is evolving,
Yeah.
it could replace all of us.
Yeah, it's true.
It can do anything. Like
Yeah.
you said, ChatGPT.
By the way, which generation are we? I keep forgetting. Are we millennials?
We are we're millennials.
Millennials.
Yes, millennials.
Yeah, millennials. You know, we're the most unlucky generation.
Why do you say so?
No, really. I mean, look at your, let's say, parents.
Mm-hmm.
Our life now is 3 times harder than their life, right?
100%.
Things were so easy. It was so easy to get a house, get the wife, get the car, send the kids to school. I'll give you an example. My grandfather was a mailman.
Okay.
Right? Mailman. He has a 2-story house. Now you're working 3 to 5 jobs and you can barely afford the rent.
So.
Right? So that's the old generation.
Mm-hmm.
And the new generation, the Gen Z, I don't know.
Yeah,
the
Gen Z.
newest ones.
And then there's another one, Alpha something.
They are making insane amounts of money just from streaming and
exactly.
And we're kind of stuck in the middle. We don't know,
right?
We don't know if we belong there or if we belong here.
Exactly.
I've been trying, like, once I did some changes before I got the idea to start my own company. I was applying for jobs for more than 2 years.
Okay.
Right. And I believe that I have a good profile.
Mm-hmm.
Bachelor's, master's, good talker, I hope. Nothing happened. No feedback. I only got the unfortunately emails. Oh, unfortunately, you are amazing, but unfortunately, next time, better luck, keep applying. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna keep, like, this is not the only thing that I need to do. What I'm trying to say is, that's when I decided, okay, the world is changing. We need to change.
I agree.
If I don't know, let's say, new tech, I need to know new tech. If I don't know how to do this, I need to know how to do it. Because I can't just be stuck and complaining that there are no jobs. Okay, if there are no jobs, you don't need the jobs. Just do something else. Yeah. And you'll realize it's way easier to make something out of yourself, to start your personal brand, than the effort that it takes you to apply for jobs. I'm serious.
But then I like that, and I agree with that. That I would love that to be able to start my own personal brand and put all my energy into it. But then some people might come to you and be like, "Yeah, but Sufyan, I don't have funds. How do I keep?"
Yeah, I mean, you will never have funds. I mean, unless, like, you come from a wealthy family or someone to back you up. But I really think it's never about the funds. It's about understanding truly your product and believing in it, and believing that people will like it. Mm-hmm. And then funds somehow will happen. I really don't know, but it always happens.
And what about then failures?
And by the way, there are ways to, like, for example, sell your first product for 50% discount. Give it for free. Mm-hmm. Get some testimonials. Get some clients. learn how to enhance your product, and then you start to build to it. Like, there are ways. It's never an excuse to say that I don't have funds. It will happen once you start, but you need to start. Yeah.
I like that. Have you ever experienced a brand that failed and that had to start all over again?
I did, but I don't want to talk too much about it
No problem.
yeah.
But I don't want to go deep into
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
I'll
I
give
just
you-
want to learn the lessons out of it.
Yeah,
Put it this way.
yeah.
We don't need to go through the ins and outs and all of that, but I
Yeah.
want to learn, because anything, like how many, even the most successful entrepreneurs, CEOs out there have failed many times before they
Yeah.
became successful.
Yeah.
And I want to know your approach for someone who started something, didn't work out. How do you bounce back? How do you still have hope? How do you move? What
Yeah.
was your approach? What was your mindset?
I see so many founders starting with the solution and then trying to find the problem.
Okay.
And then you realize that your solution doesn't really solve any problem.
Okay.
There are ways around it, right? I can, instead of using your solution, I can just do it this way. It will take me, let's say, 5 minutes longer than your solution. But again, I mean, it's for free. I don't need to pay you. So I always say, start with the problem, understand the problem, and then present a solution that fits that problem, right? Because otherwise people are not going to buy it.
True.
I've seen it before, starting a solution that supposedly was meant to solve a problem, but then you realize the target audience really don't need your solution, right? I mean, it looks nice, it's colorful, it has beautiful colors and everything, but I really don't need it. Why would I pay for it?
I agree.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. And there are so many options now. There are so many competitors. There are so many tools. There are so many. Do you know that there are AI solutions that you can develop a whole, let's say, SaaS, software as a service, within 4 to 5 hours.
Oh, really?
And you can sell it and you can move on to the next one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so understand the solution, really. Understand the problem before presenting the solution.
It's the same for me, I would relate in terms of podcasts. Every day, now, how many podcasts we have in the world? Like, it was the same for YouTube. When YouTube started, it was few people. Then it became big. Then it got saturated.
Yeah.
Now it's podcast.
Yeah.
You've got the big people that started podcast and understood, oh my God, podcast is going to be the next thing. Nowadays, how many podcasters do we have?
Oh, yeah, true. I mean, I keep seeing this microphone a lot, right?
Yeah.
Sure, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
In every video you see, sure, microphone.
Yeah.
Microphone. Everyone is having a podcast now, but I mean, I enjoy, to be honest, having those conversations.
Oh, me
But
too.
I believe a podcast should be either it's entertainment or something that inspires, or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, I hear you. So what would you say? I'm going to ask you,
Yeah.
sensei of the branding world. Means master.
Wannabe. Sensei wannabe.
If you were to give me a solution for podcasters today,
Yeah.
to make their brand, forget about mine.
Yeah.
Let's look at podcasting as a whole.
Yeah.
What is your solution for it to get a different approach? Maybe I'm kind of selling few free tips to my competitors, but
Yeah.
we're here for awareness. So
Yeah.
share with me, what would you think, as per what you've seen in the market, what's happening nowadays? How can a podcaster make a difference to the other podcasters now in the world through branding?
I think it's two main things: being authentic and resonating with your typical audience, target audience.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you have a brand that resonates with them, they can relate to them, they can relate to it, they are more inclined to open your podcast. And again, being authentic because again, people know when you're bullshitting, they know, right? So being authentic, they can feel it. They can feel that, okay, there's a purpose behind this person. He really has a vision. Okay, it's not there yet, but he's authentic, right? Sometimes people just want to support you, by the way. Yeah.
I agree.
Sometimes people just want to support. Sometimes. All right, let's talk about why would someone follow you?
Okay,
All right.
let's do that way.
Because I can see your content, I can come across it, but I don't have a reason to follow. Right? Okay, it's nice. By the way, I can enjoy a whole conversation, but I'm not gonna follow. Because I feel like it's not something that I wanna maybe. People think twice now before they follow, right? If I don't follow it, or the person that saw your podcast and they didn't follow or subscribe, they didn't get the feeling that there is better coming. It's always, it's like a trading game. Do you trade?
Not yet.
All right, soon.
We're meant to do a class, tutor class.
When you trade, and this happens all the time, when you trade in crypto, for example, or stocks or anything, you buy an asset now because you're speculating it will go higher.
Yeah.
Right? The same thing with the follow button. When you press follow, because you're speculating that there's better content coming, you don't want to miss out. That's one reason. But then the question becomes, how do you give the feeling to your audience that there is always something better coming? I'll leave this part to you. Think about it. And the second reason is, some people would really want to follow because, they enjoy the content and everything, but they want to support. Right? That's another reason. So you can cater to both reasons by being authentic.
Okay.
For example, in the first reason, because they are speculating that your content will keep improving, there is always better coming, etc. Again, you can be authentic there. And the second reason to support, they want to support authenticity. And I'm talking about the organic approach here. I'm not talking about those clickbaits.
Yeah.
You know, someone dancing, someone doing something weird, just clickbait to get followers or whatever. I'm talking about, because I really prefer the organic, authentic approach.
I think I like it too, because very often, even I get caught onto that, whether that's Instagram, whether that's TikTok. Very often you're scrolling and you're like, oh, that's interesting. And then but you click on it, it's something completely different. And you're like,
so you enjoyed the video, but you didn't follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was a lie.
Yeah.
You're not giving me what my mind wanted to see. If, for example, let's talk about, for example, I love fitness.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would scroll and I'm like, oh, okay, I like what she's doing. And I click on it.
Yeah.
But when I click on it, it's not something that I was expecting.
So, yeah.
I'm just like, but no.
You're talking about the profile grid, right?
Yeah. Profile, anything. Even, for example,
This is all branding, by the way. So you can have one amazing video that gets you, I get this question a lot. I have a content that reached 1 million views, but I can't seem to get any followers. All right.
Yeah.
That specific content did really good. People enjoyed it, but it didn't reflect on your brand. If I open your Instagram profile, for example, it doesn't give me that feeling that you do more of this.
Okay.
So I'm speculating that was just a one-time thing that you did. So why would I follow? I enjoyed your video. Maybe I will save it, but am I going to follow you? Nah. Your profile sucks.
I like it.
Yeah.
Sufyan, I would love to sit with you for the rest of the evening and continue, but obviously time's ticking.
Oh, is it?
Almost.
Yeah, wow.
With coming towards the end of the episode. But before I move to the end, because I have few sections that I have reserved.
I talk a lot, right?
I talk a lot too.
I thought I talk a lot.
No, it's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
No, I mean, because I didn't feel the time. Maybe it was fun, yeah.
So,
good conversation.
Anything that you want to add to any message, anyone that wants to maybe reach out to you, anything, if you want to say anything, or maybe we missed out on mentioning about something during the conversation because there was so much to talk about. Please feel free to share it with us before I move to the...
Yeah. No, I really want to say at the end, again, you are meant for more. You are truly meant for more. So whatever that you are doing at the moment, if you are not happy with it, just remember you are meant for more, and it's your life. You should take a drastic change because it's your life. That's
Love
it.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. So we've got two end sections to the ending of the episode. So it's what if questions. I'm just gonna ask you what if, and then you answer whatever comes to your mind. Okay?
Yeah.
What if marketing wasn't about selling but about serving?
I mean, it's both products.
But do you think that marketing is mostly about selling or serving? There's the confusion with my what ifs questions.
Yeah, but see, I mean, I'm thinking about it because whatever that you are doing the marketing for, it could be a product, like a good, something that you can buy, or it could be a service.
Okay.
The purpose of marketing is to make your whatever that you are doing to make it stand out, to get you more eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take it. What if your content could actually change someone's day or life?
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
I would be happy.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, doing small things in life that uplift people or change people, it's a good feeling, and you don't need really to promote it.
I hear you.
You know?
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right. What if we stop chasing followers and starting building communities?
You will get more followers. Real followers. Okay. People that, oh, by the way, there are so many types of followers. You can get so many followers, but they are not willing to buy from you.
True.
And by buying, I don't mean like paying or buying, just taking your call to action.
Okay.
Whether joining your community or monetizing it, anyhow. Getting more followers doesn't mean that you will get more sales or buys or whatever, because it means that you got the wrong type of followers. Mm-hmm. You got the wrong target audience, and that's a marketing problem.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What if you built a brand based on who you really are, not who you think you should be?
Oh, I love this one. This is the purpose behind Mint.
Okay.
Your brand should represent you, and you should be proud of it. I see so many business owners, they're not taking pride in their brand. Probably because their brand suck, but they want to kind of detach themselves from that brand. So your brand should, I mean, again, it should resonate with your target audience, but it needs to be your vision. Because if you start something as a founder, only you have that vision for it to succeed. True. Not your brother, not your friend, not your cousin. It's just you. And no matter how many times you try to explain it, it's your vision. Just try to find ways to make it happen.
I love that. What if being vulnerable online made your brand stronger?
Oh, that's a deep one. I wouldn't take that approach.
Okay.
Because again, being vulnerable, we all go through our ups and downs. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just need to suck it up and move on.
Okay.
Right? So it can work, but it depends on the segment that you are in, honestly. Yeah, because sometimes you need to maintain a certain persona online.
Yeah, it depends on your content.
It depends on the content, depends on the product.
Okay, I like that one. I mean, it's similar, so I'm going to skip that one because it was similar.
All right.
What if the most powerful thing you could do online was to be honest?
Yeah, I think you should always be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah, people appreciate that.
Okay.
Always be honest. You know how to do it. You don't know how to do it. You made a mistake. You need more time. Just be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. It goes a long way.
I got one. Yeah. I like that one.
All right. You like all of them?
I like, obviously, because I read them. What if being meant for more meant unlearning everything you thought you knew about marketing?
That's a project, by the way, Mint. Okay. So it's a two-way communication. I want to talk and I also want to hear. I want to experiment. I like to experiment. I want to try new things, new different approaches because it's fun. If it's not fun, what's the point?
I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to talk to more people. I want to meet more people. I want to hear crazy ideas that are impossible to implement, but I want to find if there are ways to implement them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I take that. Are you ready for the last one?
Sure.
We're moving to what I love to call rapid fire questions.
You're what?
Rapid fire questions.
All right.
So I'm going to ask you a question
Yeah.
and you have to answer very fast.
Okay.
And first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay. One word or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. If your content style was a serial, which
Yeah.
one would it be?
Netflix. Netflix.
No.
I mean, serial. What's it called? I keep confusing those names.
Nesquik.
Nestle.
Yeah,
Nesquik.
okay.
Nesquik.
Nesquik.
Netflix. Nesquik.
Nesquik, okay.
Nesquik. Yeah.
Worst caption you've ever written?
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Worst caption?
Yeah.
I really don't remember. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't post a lot, by the way. I need to improve my personal
You
brand
used to
now.
post a lot though.
Yeah.
You used to.
Because I got so busy with my brand and clients that I forgot to
Oh my
do
God.
personal branding
Please,
for me.
side note, this man was posting on a regular basis. You were taking forever on CapCut. By the way, I need to thank him because he's the one who showed me how to use CapCut. Otherwise, I would have been clueless how to use that. So yeah, we expect more posts.
All right.
Ever posted something and immediately wanted to delete it?
No.
Okay.
No. Because whatever I post, I just post it. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing you'd never be caught doing on a reel.
On what?
A reel. You know, the reel on Instagram.
On a reel.
What is one thing you wouldn't be doing?
Record too personal stuff. Because I like to separate. I like to separate personal life
And work life.
and work life. Yeah.
If men had a theme song, what would it be?
Bad to the bone. Yeah, I'm bad.
One client email that still haunts you at night.
Client email.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't use emails. You still use emails?
WhatsApp.
My God.
I mean, I don't know how it works
You
sometimes.
probably still do dear and
I don't know.
for your kind
I don't know.
attention.
You tell me
That
WhatsApp,
stuff.
email.
All right, let me think. No, thankfully I don't get a lot of
No?
those haunting messages, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah,
No?
no.
You never got one?
I probably did, but I really don't remember.
I love that because you're just like, I don't care. Next.
No, I care, but I solve it on the spot. Like, I forget about it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If you had a marketing superpower, what would it be?
Understanding people.
Okay.
I can look through your eyes and see your kidneys and heart
Oh, wow.
and brain and
X-ray.
everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. One trend you're pretending you didn't try.
One trend?
You're pretending you didn't try.
I never tried any trend, so I'm pretending I never tried
Okay.
anything.
All right. Okay. What's more stressful, first dates or first drafts?
First date or first what?
Drafts, like you know when you draft like reels and all of this.
Yeah.
What's more difficult or stressful?
If first going on a first date
Going on a first date
and drafting
or
the
drafting-
first reel.
Exactly.
Drafting first reel. Because on the first date it's just one person. On the first reel it's like I don't know how many thousand followers.
It's true.
So you're kind of dating 1,000 followers.
It's true. I get
Yeah.
you. If your camera roll had a personality, what would it be?
You sure you want to post that?
Okay. What's your go-to excuse when you miss a deadline?
I just woke up. No, I'm kidding. I mean, like I try not to miss deadlines, and if I need an extension, I try to ask earlier.
Okay.
That is not going according to plan, because it took too long to reply.
Okay.
No, be nice to your customers.
Pick one.
Yeah.
Terrible Wi-Fi or dead ring light?
Ring light,
Not the ring.
dead ring light. Which one is worse? Oh, terrible Wi-Fi, of course. Yeah, but that's a very good question. A terrible Wi-Fi.
What would your TED Talk be titled if it was about content creation chaos?
Stand out. Yeah.
If you could DM any celebrity to collab, who would it be?
None.
None?
I really don't care about any celebrities and all of that, because I am my own thing. I am my own personal brand, right? And okay, you need help from people, but you are your own persona, right? So this celebrity kind of, it's not me.
No, okay.
Yeah.
You have 10 minutes to save your life. Make a reel or design a logo.
Make a reel. I hate designing logos. I don't design logos, but I know the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many coffees does it take to brainstorm a brand name?
2.
Oh, okay.
But it's not one day. You know, making a new brand name can take up to 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
True.
Yeah, you never want to rush branding, by the way. Yeah. And you know, when I announced that I want to do Mint, this was 2 weeks ago, and I still didn't finalize the branding because I don't want to rush it. Let it cook, let it resonate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence for yourself. I'm meant for...
More. That was an easy one.
No, come on. You could have said anything.
That's meant for more, always.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
and more is subjective, by the way.
Okay.
More is anything. Yes, so.
You tell me. You want to elaborate?
Anything that you want to do, really. You're meant for more.
What are you meant for? For you, pet?
For more, I like to inspire people because I like to get inspired. So I feel like I have an obligation to pass on knowledge. You should never gatekeep knowledge. I want more people to know that they can do better. It's not as hard as you think it is, right? Don't listen to your subconscious mind giving you those weird overthinking, and never fear anything.
Okay.
Never fear anything. Just whatever you want to do it. You pro in it. It doesn't go according to plan. Just do it. Enjoy it. Believe me, people forget. People forget.
True.
So it's fine. Don't care about what people think. They forget, and we have very tiny attention span now. So you can do something that is extremely embarrassing now. Tomorrow people will forget about it. But just do it. Whatever you want to do, just do it.
I love that.
Good.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much. This was very fun.
I hope you come back.
Sure, let's do it. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna talk about next time.
We'll find something.
All right.
We'll find something.
Amazing, really. Like I need to give it to you. Just starting this, being purpose-driven. And by the way, one thing you don't know about Lamia, she is a purpose-driven person, really. And starting all this, it's not easy, but it's fun, right?
It is.
It is fun.
It's part of the process.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you again for coming. And thank you for your kind words.
You're welcome.
And on that note, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.